for the Microsoft Dynamics for Life Sciences Industry webcast are Kathy Knorr, Global Industry Director at Tectura, and Rob Thomas, Solution Architect at Tectura. My name is Patricia Patterson, and I will be your moderator for today's event. At this time, I will pass things over to Kathy Knorr to kick off today's presentation. Kathy, over to you.
Great. Thanks a lot, Tricia. Good afternoon and good morning. Thanks for taking time to attend today. I'm going to do a quick introduction of Tectura, talk about the life sciences industry, and then we'll show you some of the solutions that we have available. You can expect this session to go for about 30 to 45 minutes. Tectura is a global consulting organization representing Microsoft Dynamics products and Tectura products for the life sciences companies. We are about 1,400 people in 3 primary regions. Where we do not have offices, we have strategic partners working with our clients and distributing products. We service local clients as well as global organizations, and we focus on implementing in specific industries, life sciences, and process manufacturing. When considering new ERP or business solutions, we always go quickly to functionality. But before we begin that conversation, let's remember that the key to effective business solutions is to meet functional requirements that specifically help the business achieve strategic objectives. The dynamic solutions we will demonstrate today are designed to be easy to use and easy to implement to help your business achieve your goals, driving growth and better business performance. An integrated solution not only helps companies meet requirements for financials and SOX compliance, but the solutions also need to consider that life sciences companies have some very specific requirements. Inventory in your organization can either be complex parts in medical device companies, where components may have both lot and serial number requirements, or complex recipes that may have agents or reagents, potency, or batch formula requirements. Additionally, quality management and quality control is a requirement not only to produce better product, but outputs from quality management may determine what products a customer can receive or what country can accept product. Often, subcontracted manufacturing requires additional documentation and oversight. And many products in life sciences or biotech will require that the production and distribution need additional audit and validation. Maybe vendors and suppliers will need to meet ongoing standards, and that multiple regulatory groups will need audit access. As the business grows and expands, there can be the need to have greater visibility into R&D and procedures and outputs. As the business grows, the supply chain model often changes or expands based on the products and geography. With those changes come new regulations and new reporting requirements. Life sciences companies can meet these changing and shifting priorities with Tectura Life Sciences solutions on Microsoft platforms by saving your cash for investment and having your business not spend on the development of new customized or one-off solutions. The open architecture and configurability provide flexible but stable platforms. The depth of functionality and the ability to change the usage model or increase the complex usage as the business changes provides you a scalable solution. And as you will see in the presentation, the ability to monitor for compliance and tracking allows for changing compliance regulations while maintaining a secure environment. Today we'll look at software. But remember, software is only part of the overall solution. We also offer implementation services and ongoing support. Because of our industry knowledge, we have developed templates and processes to help any size organization. Tectura Life Sciences Solution for Life Sciences is a fully integrated solution built on Microsoft Dynamics. It is commercially off-the-shelf, COTS software that reduces risks for our clients. Currently, Over 200 client businesses are running the solution, and it is designed to support biotech, cosmetic, medical device, nutraceutical, and pharma organizations. Life science companies on the call today may or may not require FDA validation for your processes and solutions. But the standard tools for SOP and IQ, OQ, PQ, as well as GMP, are simply good practices. For companies that do require validation, simple tools enforce proper electronic signatures and quality management controls at the point of entry. Transaction-based requirements ensure efficient and effective execution of business policies. Today we're going to focus our presentation on key areas of functionality that will help you see and understand how the concepts I've been talking about are actually expressed in the system. We will cover recipe and ingredient management with enhanced lot control and item tracking. We're also going to cover quality control and audit trail and data security. And for that, I'm going to turn the presentation over to Rob so that you can see the application. Rob?
Thank you, Kathy. In life sciences and process manufacturing industries, recipe management is a critical requirement. It's also a common necessity to go beyond simply managing the required quantities of components, as in basic recipe management, but also additionally monitoring and managing specific levels and or potencies of ingredients contained within the raw material components and finished goods. Recipe and ingredient management is a key feature in Tectura's life sciences and process manufacturing solutions. We'll look at these features via production structure. The production structure dictates how an item is to be produced. It provides a single point of entry, allowing users to list the components, recipes, as well as the work centers, tools, and inserts required to manufacture these items. The Advanced Recipe Management Solution offers the ability to maintain production structures in both production BOM format, where components are specified based on a fixed unit of measured quantity, or by recipe, where components are specified via a share percentage. Furthermore, the solution offers the ability to use both methods within the same structure. In this example, we're producing item P501, which requires processing through several work centers and uses a specific tool or die. The structure also leverages both recipe components and BOM components. The amount of a recipe component to use during production is dictated by the share percentage field. We've also used the ability to specify fixed quantities on the production structure to indicate the amount of packaging required. As mentioned earlier, we can also specify the levels of active ingredient that should be in item P501 after production. We can see here that item P501 should have specific levels of ingredient IN01 and IN02. The levels of active ingredient in item P501 are based on the actual levels of ingredients in the recipe components. At the component level, we can indicate what the theoretical potency is for active ingredients. For item 30303A, we can see the theoretical amount of ingredients contained within the raw material is ingredient 1 at a level of 11.7 milligrams. For item 30304A, the theoretical amount of ingredient is ingredient 1 at a level of 1.18 milligrams, and ingredient 2 at a level of 7.08 milligrams. The actual levels of ingredient are recorded against each lot of raw material as it's being received. The ingredient level can be manually recorded against each lot, or if we're using the available quality management features, we can have the ingredient potencies automatically populated based on quality testing results. Finally, let's take a look at the production process. We'll select a production order that's already started our manufacturing processes. We can see that the targeted batch weight for this production run has been set to 500 kilograms. By going to the components page for this production order, we can see how the system has used the target weight and the share percentage from the production structure to extrapolate the actual required weight of the recipe components. Also, by going to the lot selection page for our components, we can see the available lots for each component and the recorded ingredient level of each of these lots. With this information, users can select the appropriate lots to use in this batch and assign them to this production run. Finally, by going back to the ingredients page against the production order, users can quickly and easily have the total level of active ingredient visible in the current batch. Users can adjust the components and or lots on this, based on this information to ensure that the produced item meets their final requirements. The recipe management and ingredient management features in Tectura Life Sciences and Process Manufacturing Solutions allow companies to accurately specify their production structures in an intuitive, industry-specific manner. The solution also allows companies to indicate the required potencies of their key ingredients and actively monitor and adjust the material lot selections based on the ingredient measurements. Tectura Life Sciences and Process Manufacturing also offers robust lot and serial number management. The lot management features offer companies the flexibility to create their own specific lot statuses with the added ability to dictate how and when lots can be used, enhanced lot administration and maintenance functionality, and full traceability for receiving through production and shipment. First, let's look at an example of how lot statuses can be configured. Again, authorized users can create their own lot status codes within the system. Against each code, we can identify the transactions where each status can be used. So for example here, for our quarantine status, we've indicated that any lot with a status of quarantine still can be made visible for picking on sales orders or picking for manufacturing. Additionally, we can even assign specific statuses for specific customers, or customer groups, or even country filters. The system will automatically validate that the lot status against the customer and customer properties during the shipping process. This allows us to segregate our inventory and ensure only correct lots get to the correct customer. Next, let's look at the administration and maintenance of lots. From the lot and serial number administration page, users have the ability to quickly search and filter inventory based on many lot characteristics. Let's search our inventory for lots that are about to expire this month. The system quickly accesses our inventory and produces a list of all the lots that have expiration dates within the date range that I've specified. Now, based on permissions, authorized users can now process and edit specific information against these lots, including the lot numbers themselves, or serial numbers, expiration dates, and even lot statuses. Because we're an authorized user, let's process and update the lot expiration date. For our first item on this list, let's go in and for the entire lot quantity, let's go in and adjust the expiration date. As we post this change, the user is also prompted if they'd like to provide a comment as to why this change is being made. Now, as we can see here, we now have a new lot expiration set up against this lot. Finally, let's take a look at the lot traceability functions available. The Tectura Life Sciences and Process Manufacturing solution offers forward and backward lot traceability either through a lot tracing page for informal queries or through a more formal callback functionality. Let's use this callback feature. We'll create a new callback and select a lot number that we'd like to trace. And then we'll suggest our callback lines. After we suggest our callback lines, the system organizes all the occurrences of that lot number based on transaction type. From this information, we can quickly see that this item was purchased, this lot was purchased, and the purchase receipt header that this lot came in on. We can also see that from this purchase receipt, this lot was consumed into a production order. If we look from the sales standpoint, we can see the full transaction history of this lot. We can see that the lot came in through this purchase receipt header, it got consumed into a production order, and then it got output as a different item. And that finished good eventually got shipped through the sales shipment header. We then also have the ability to go in and navigate to the document in question. And go directly to that posted sales shipment. Users can then go in and remove the lines from this callback that they do not want to include as part of the callback, and then they can issue this callback. The enhanced lot and serial number management features in Tectura Life Sciences and Process Manufacturing solutions provide the flexibility and traceability mandatory within life sciences industry. Within life sciences and process manufacturing industries, the ability to perform testing on inventory from raw material through finished goods is critical. Many life sciences companies have LIMS systems already in place, and the flexibility of the dynamics environment allows us to integrate those systems as required. However, Tectura also offers a quality management solution with which the added benefit of having a fully integrated solution within the ERP. Tectura's quality management solution offers companies the ability to create both quantitative and qualitative test plans and define when testing is required by item and transaction type. Let's select an item to view the setup. We'll work with item P501, and let's go in and see the test plan setup. On this page, we can see the currently configured testing required for this item. Our source type field indicates the transaction type. This allows us to set up different tests based on the transaction. So for example, we may perform a specific test when we sell an item, But if that item gets returned to us, a different testing procedure is required. So to accomplish that, we'd have a sales order, a test plan set up for sales order, and then we can also set up an additional test plan for a sales return order. The source number field works in conjunction with our source type field. For sales or purchasing type of transactions, we can use the source number field to indicate if the testing procedure is customer or vendor specific. So in this example here, this test procedure is represented for sales to customer 10,000. If this item is ever received from this vendor, vendor 30,000, this is the test plan that needs to be executed. We can also indicate if the testing is to be done on a per item basis or a per lot or serial number basis. We also have the additional capabilities of applying tests on a per container basis for those scenarios where a single lot may come in multiple containers. Our solution also offers the ability to do sample calculation methods, the ability to dictate how much of a sample we should take for our testing. We also have the ability to set up skip lot scenarios with our sampling methods. The test plan field indicates the tests that need to be that are required for this transaction type. And finally, we can also set up the system to automatically adjust lot statuses on the testing based on the testing results. Once a transaction occurs for an item, test orders based on the defined test plan are either manually or automatically created. Let's take a look at a previously created test order. Our test order statuses help organize the testing that needs to be done by our quality team. Test orders with a status of created indicate the testing that needs to be done but hasn't been started yet. Let's select one of these test orders. And now we have our test order visible. We can decide now whether we want to begin testing on this test order or not. To begin testing, we simply release this test order. Once the test order has been released, we go back to our test order statuses. It gets a new status of value recording, meaning that this test order is ready to have results logged against it. Let's go in and log some results to this test order. To do this, we have a simple value recording window. The value recording window opens up and allows us to record specific results against multiple tests again on this test order. Our first test asks us to record the number of germs that we counted within our sample. We can see here that we have a lower limit and an upper limit. Our actual determined value dictates whether we're within our standards. We can flag this as being tested now. We go on to our next test. Our next test is the number of germs again, and a different type of measurement. So again, we'll record the results and say that it's tested. Now we can also see that besides going in and recording quantitative values, we also have the ability to go in and do qualitative tests where we can go in and put in actual answers. So our next test here is to do an aerobic test and to see if the results are a pass or a fail. And same with the next following steps. So I'm going to go in here and simply select OK for all our tests. And our final test here, we have our measurement. And as soon as we do the final testing stage, it tells us, we get a message that the testing has been finished on this test order. I'm going to hit OK and close our testing or value recording window. Once we've completed testing, the status automatically gets updated on that test order. it now goes to a status of testing finished. This allows us to go in and review our test results, print an analysis certificate if required, and finally, finalize the testing results. The analysis certificate can be modified to reflect what our customer's specific certificate of analysis requirements are. Tectura's quality management solution offers reliable testing, beginning with the receiving inspection, extending to testing during production stages, and through to final testing. The system follows our materials management efforts every step of the way. The last feature we're going to look at is our regulatory affairs feature and the ability to go in and do validation and electronic signatures in the system. Tectura Regulatory Affairs addresses the data security and audit trail requirements necessary for many life sciences and process manufacturing companies. Let's start by looking at some of the setup. The verification setup screen indicates the specific areas within the application that companies can require electronic signatures to validate data changes. Within each of the areas, there are granular functions where different levels of verification can be set up. Let's take a look at our manufacturing area. Within our manufacturing area, we can see all the different data types where we can require validation and electronic signatures. Let's set up an example where we require validation on our production structure. We have the option to simply require a password check, or we can require a bit more documentation and require users to put in their password as well as a comment as to why they're making the change. We can also use the second set of eyes principle and force a different user to validate the changes. And that's what we'll set up here. And now let's go in and see this in action. Let's select a production structure for editing. And first thing we'll do is we'll change the status of this production structure to under development, which allows us now to make some changes to the production structure. Let's go into our work center for the mixer here, or for the extruder, and let's adjust the setup time. Instead of 30 minutes, let's increase our setup time to 45 minutes. We'll now go back and recertify our production structure. As soon as we do this, we can see a verification screen pops up requiring us to put in our password. This ensures that the user that's making the change is authorized to make this change. I'll type in my password and hit OK. We instantly get a message that verification that a user cannot verify their own changes. Instead, we need to have a different user come in and validate this. We'll call Eduardo, who is also authorized to make production structure changes, and we'll have him validate our changes for us. We also require a comment. And we can hit OK. As we can see here, the setup change has now been validated through the system, as well as a history of who validated and who verified those changes. The data security and audit trail capabilities are necessary and often mandated requirements for many life science and process manufacturing companies. Tectura's regulatory affairs can help address this requirement. What we've demonstrated for you here today is a sample of some of the key features available in Tectura's life sciences and process manufacturing industry solutions. Our solutions provide many more features, functions, and processes that can help address business pains within these industries. Conversely, the architecture of Dynamics and the Tectura solutions, as well as our implementation approach, avoids a one-size-fits-all system architecture, but instead allows us to work with our clients to determine the correct functionality to deploy at the correct time. With that, I'm going to hand this back over to Kathy.
Great, thanks, Rob. Appreciate it. And before we close the session today, I wanted to talk briefly about a couple of our client successes. The first is a client, Medica. Medica was, or is, a new company, and they had no previous legacy ERP system in place to track their manufacturing, sales, accounts receivable, or payable. The company was running finance department using QuickBooks, and this was always a short-term solution for them while they went through the process of commercializing their product. Once the commercialization process was completed, they were under pressure to find a suitable solution in order to run the business. Medica looked at a couple of alternatives when selecting a product, but they selected Tectura Life Sciences built on Microsoft Dynamics as it was a strong contender for the manufacturing. It was low cost and it was easy to configure for their environment. They appreciated the fact that we had life sciences expertise and that the functionality could match what they needed to implement in their industry. Another client, Ortho Molecular, was a more established organization dealing with a different set of growth issues. The customer had experienced a 20% year-on-year growth, which meant their existing system was too basic for their increasing needs. They required a solution that could support specific product development, quality, and documentation. Ortho had a very rigorous RFI process in place, and a number of vendors presented solutions. They selected Tectura out of 4 vendors because Tectura had the manpower, the history, the product and support needed to help them with their growth. These organizations and others have used Tectura Life Sciences and Microsoft technologies to achieve strategic goals with systems built to meet their needs. I hope you were able to see today that rich functionality of our life sciences solutions will provide you the tools to accomplish and achieve your goals. We were not able to demonstrate all of the solution options, so contact us if you want more information, send us your feedback, or just let us know if you want to look further into how to achieve your business objectives. Tricia?
Thank you, Kathy, and thank you, Rob. That concludes today's presentation. On behalf of Tectura, I would like to thank everyone for joining and hope that you felt it was time well spent. If you'd like to learn more about our industry solutions for the life sciences industry or wish to speak with a representative, we invite you to contact us by phone at 866-278-6662, email us at nainquiries@tectura.com,